So where should we start off?
We did intros last time.
Do we do intros?
I think you introed. You're like, I'm Matt. I'm Small Fry.
Okay. We're not sure what this is going to be called yet. It's a podcast.
Oh, no, we don't have the name, do we?
No, we don't have a name for it. It's just going to be two meatheads debating, talking, covering general fitness, bodybuilding topics, and kind of see where it goes.
I thought it was more like you talking about it and me telling you how you're wrong. For anyone that's not.
Well,
like
we can go over last week's debate, which is you basically telling me how much of a meathead I am, how out of touch I am.
I mean, all
from
true.
The average Joe. And my argument was like the average Joe are just not doing enough to get what they need.
You've started very strong, I'll be honest.
Well, that's pretty much my stance.
Yeah.
Because like we just discussed, okay, you agreed with me, like let's say less than 10%, I would say maybe 5% of people who go to the gym actively are getting the results that they need, that they want.
Right. And my view is that the reason they're not getting what they want is because what has become standardized is so far out of reach. So like...
Okay, what's standardized?
So like, if you show a picture to someone of like Chris Bumstead off season, people are like, yeah, dad bod. And it's like, my guy is on a next level that no one can reach.
Okay.
And we're making that, when he's not tanned and oiled up and on the stage, we're going, oh yeah, he looks like a bit fit, really, when really he's like mind-blowing.
Well, if we take Chris Bumstead out the picture. Or any bodybuilder out the picture.
Yeah.
The average Joe don't know who Chris Bumstead is, don't know...
No.
Most of the people that go to the gym group or gym box or wherever don't know who any bodybuilder is. They're completely detached from that world.
Fair.
And not getting the results. So they're not influenced in any way.
They are influenced. They're
not influenced by bodybuilders. They're influenced maybe by what they see on Instagram, from influencers.
Yeah.
Or what, their mates might be telling them, or what they should expect from going to the gym, or the like general perception of what they think health and fitness is, or how quick it is to get results. Like they're not really influenced by Chris Bumstead. They don't know who Chris Bumstead is.
They are influenced by Chris Bumstead.
Okay, cool.
Because it's like...
Are you going to give me like a trickling Chris Bumstead and influence the influencers?
It's not trickling. It's not trickling.
And then the influencers influence. Okay, go on.
I don't follow high fashion.
Okay.
Right? Fair?
Fair.
But clothing choices that I would make would eventually be influenced by that.
I see your argument,
not just because the trickle, because the people at the top, or at some point, someone that I look at is inspired by their top. So Chris Bumstead is obviously brilliant for bodybuilding, brought a lot of personality, brought a lot of things to bodybuilding, and it's great and it's brilliant. It's sad that he's like choosing to retire, semi-retire, whatever. The problem is more so like the things that are in more mass media are also super unrealistic. So you go and watch a Marvel movie, right, and you're seeing, Hugh Jackman in ridiculous condition that like no one can foreseeably get, like actually get realistically.
Yeah.
And then when he's interviewed, he's saying, I ate like chicken breast and broccoli. Yeah. And it's like, bro.
And got up at 5 a.m.
And got up at 5 a.m. Like, this is not true. And then what people do is they go, oh, well, he's not as extreme as the bodybuilders, so it must be that he's just natural.
Yeah.
And the bodybuilders are doing what he did, but juicing.
Okay.
So it's like...
So you're taking away any ownership from the average Joe going to the gym.
I'm not taking away...
You're saying, oh, it's not their fault. They're being fed the wrong information.
No,
it's not what you're saying?
Not like that. It's it's more like this, right?
Because you and I know people are just not getting what they want because they're just not doing enough.
I think part of the issue, a large part of the issue, is the expectation. Like what we have like normalized is so extreme that not only of us as like trainers or coaches losing touch with what a normal person actually wants, we're like feeding this problem. So like, if someone is 35 kilos overweight, right? Let's say they're a woman and they weigh 100 kilos. And they need to get to 65. 65 would be a healthy weight, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, realistically, actually, if they lose 15 kilos, that's brilliant, right?
Okay, yeah.
That would significantly improve their life.
Yeah.
But the imagery around like what someone should look like makes them think, actually, I should be 50 kilos, right? Or 55 kilos, right? Which is still probably okay.
Yeah, but your argument is falling. Your argument is falling flat on its face because they're not even getting the first 15.
Yes, but I think it's the intimidation. That's what I mean. It's like, instead of baby steps, it's like, look, think, if your goal, for example, like we used before we started recording, like men will say, I hear it all the time, I want to be able to bench 100 kilos, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, on a statistical basis, is like wildly unrealistic.
Yeah.
Like for a person who sort of casually goes to the gym.
Who's relatively untrained, kind of.
What do you mean relatively untrained?
Relatively untrained means like they've done some fitness outside the gym, but just not been in a like gym scenario. This
is how I measure things, right?
Okay.
I look at the best example I've ever seen with my own eyes, I'm not picking like, Eddie Hall said he could bench 100 at 16.
Okay.
We're not counting Eddie Hall.
Yeah.
The best I've ever seen with my own eyes, untrained, is what I think personally is a good level for people to aim at, right?
Okay.
Because this is like someone who's probably just generally looked after themselves and has good genetics. I think.
And this is their first time in the gym.
Yeah, I'm talking not necessarily day one, but it's untrained. Like hasn't been formally trained, hasn't like done a program. Like they've come to the gym. Maybe it's the first time they've done a deadlift.
Okay.
And whatever they pick up. I would say the best I've seen.
Yeah.
The best I've seen.
Yeah.
Not the average, right?
Well, you're hyping it up so much. This better be impressive.
No, it's not impressive. That's the point. The point is, I would say that is a good level for most people to aspire to be.
Yeah.
Right.
What is it?
The best I've seen a woman do is 90 kilos.
What, deadlift?
Yeah, deadlift, untrained.
Okay. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I've seen that. That's not bad. Yeah.
And the best I've seen a man do untrained was 130 kilos. Like day one. Right?
Not bad.
Now, what I'm saying is this should be the industry standard that we look at getting. So that when someone steps into the gym, if you said, right, day one, deadlifting, never done it before, I picked up 50. Right?
Yeah.
50 to 90, we know that's not an incredible amount of work that's going to take you to get there, right? But if we start normalizing like 140, the person's going to go, what's the point? What's the point of even trying? Like, I'm so far away, and that 50 felt so hard.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to do nearly 3 times that.
So so they're being discouraged.
Yeah, I think that
because the bar is too high.
The bar is too high.
So we should drop the bar.
No, we should. No, the bar.
Okay.
Is ridiculous.
So we should drop the bar.
No, we should agree that the bar is ridiculous.
Okay.
And
then drop the bar.
Not drop it. Make a new bar based on some actual statistics. It's a bit like right. So what we talked about last week.
Yeah, but we both know that strength is relative.
Yeah,
right?
I know that.
Like the physique doesn't really go hand in hand to how strong you are. It does to a certain extent, but then you do. I have seen majority of good deadlifters I've seen, or like really strong people in the gym, are not necessarily the biggest people in the gym. You and I can agree that, yeah. So it's not really a good like metric. Like I'm merely talking about the average Joe coming to the gym, wanting to get from like 70 kilos. So let's say a guy, for instance, from 70 kilos to 90 kilos. Okay, relatively lean. That takes a lot of work. Yeah, okay, but that's let's say
45 pounds of muscle. Is
but let's also say
a lifetime goal.
Yeah, but let's also say, but that's their goal though.
Yeah, I understand, but the
amount of countless people I've trained in commercial gyms that have that goal.
Yes,
and that's their goal.
But that's the point.
But that's uninfluenced. Let's say that's been uninfluenced by anyone. Maybe they've seen Wolverine or whatever. Okay?
It is influenced.
Influenced by Wolverine. Okay, let's just say that. Okay, for argument's sake.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you and I know that's achievable.
Yes, it is achievable. Okay, that's true.
It's achievable.
That's true.
The bar is not outlandish enough. They don't need to go on anabolic steroids to get that. Okay, but it does take consistent work, turning up every single day, pushing yourself to a certain degree in the gym, and staying in line and doing the things that you need to do outside the gym to get to where you want to be. That's the work.
Yeah.
So why they're not doing the work?
Right.
Let's just forget about the bar being too high.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like if you could go to the gym, train as hard as you possibly can, every single day or 5 days a week.
Yeah.
This is not me setting unrealistic standards. This
I mean,
is
all
what
of those were unrealistic, but
that's
sure.
unrealistic.
Yes, all of those were unrealistic,
Okay.
but sure.
Let's take average Joe.
Average Joe.
Average Joe wants to put on 45 kilos of muscle.
Okay. Absurd amount
Okay, let's say average Joe wants to put on 10 kilos of muscle.
Average Joe.
I'm bringing the bar even lower.
Okay.
10 kilos of muscle.
Yeah.
Okay. He wants to get to 90 kilos.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to get any more fluffy than what he currently is.
Yeah.
Okay. You and I know that takes consistent diet.
Yeah.
Consistent training.
Yeah.
Is that unrealistic?
No. Look.
Is that unrealistic
It's
for him?
fully realistic within the context of someone that understands. Like, we can't normalize terms like comes into the gym and trains as hard as possible multiple times a week. For most people, one leg day...
Hard as possible just means training and pushing yourself. That's hard as possible is relative. Let's say coming to the gym and going until you can't do any more reps. That's unrealistic?
Yes. This is where it falls, right? Because it's like me saying, right...
It's unrealistic
like
to go to the gym and do a bench press and pushing to complete failure?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It takes a certain type of personality.
The bar is so low then.
I mean, define low. When you say
low, meaning that, so you're basically telling me the average Joe coming to the gym, it are just destined to fail.
No, I'm saying that.
Because they can't possibly do the work. Is that what you're saying? Okay, go on.
I'm saying that there is no other thing in life where the minimal expectation for achievement is absolute maximal effort, right? Multiple times. So like, for example, Duolingo, right?
Okay.
Duolingo feels like it's doable and is already unrealistic. People don't have 20 minutes a day. What's 20 minutes a day? Like 100 hours a year or something works out to.
Everyone has 20 minutes a day.
No, they have it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we did talk about this last week.
You're saying they're willing to apply 20 minutes a day.
If you take a calendar, right?
Yeah.
You take someone's weekly calendar.
Yeah.
You can obviously find time to train, to eat the meals, to do Duolingo. Perfect. Everyone physically has the time, right? But there's other factors to achieving, especially that kind of training, than the time.
So let's just use the example 10 kilos of progression.
10 kilos of muscle, yeah?
Yeah.
So what's that, 24 pounds or something?
Yeah.
22 pounds,
Yeah.
22 pounds. Right. That's a lot.
Okay. Tell me why the average person can't achieve that.
Because I think, remember what we were saying last week, people are being fed an unrealistic amount of effort that it takes. In that, if I go and buy a plan, right, online now, I go and buy, I don't know, any Jeff Nippard's plan, let's say, right, any fitness influencer that's going to be, that I'm going to know of, not a bodybuilder, like someone that's going to be accessible to a normal person.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy their plan, and it's going to be 3 or 4 sessions per week of 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? That's like normally, because that sounds realistic.
Okay.
People go, I could do that.
Sounds easy. Yeah.
Right? It's possible to do that if the person's willing to like literally storm into the gym, pre-workout up, like destroying the gym as hard as they possibly can, taking multiple sets to failure, right? Most people, when they get to the gym, they probably took like the majority of their energy just to get there. Just getting through the doors is an achievement, right? Okay. So what we're doing is going, someone gets through the doors, automatically they should be training like an Olympian, like they should be training as though their life depends on it.
Who's saying that?
But that's what you, training to multiple sets of, most people.
Training to failure, for the average person, I'm trying to like conceptualize, the average Joe going to the gym.
Yeah.
Okay. You and I know, even like, let's say the clients that I've had in the past, the clients that you train now, they have a relative idea of what it takes to get the results. They know, right, I need a gym membership, so they're in the gym. They know that much, They also know that I need to train regularly.
Yeah.
Now, regularly to them could like mean once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. But then you as a trainer would be like, okay, I probably need to come 4 to 5 times a week, to get that kind of results. So they've now clued up. They know how much they need to come to the gym. They know they need to eat relatively healthy to get there.
Yeah.
Direction from their trainer. You'll tell them, protein intake, carbs, blah, blah, blah. Talk to them about rest. So they have the information now.
Yeah.
What's to stop them from getting there?
Like
I'm not, when I say come to the gym and train to failure, the bit that you say is unachievable. Training to failure just means doing the most you can with the energy that you have on that day. It doesn't mean go to the gym, like resign to the fact that okay, I feel tired today, so I'm just gonna do 5 reps and everything. That's not, you and I know that's not fair. Maybe they can do a lot more.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, but they're just choosing to do 5.
No. Look.
Like this is what like people like. We need to stop dropping the bar for people. The idea of like this is why most people are not getting the results that they need when they go to the gym is because everything they seem to want to like do the minimal amount of work to get the most amount of results.
That is the human condition, yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
Okay. Even with the information that they need to do more, they're doing less and still expecting more. Now, what you're saying is like, okay, it's not our person's fault that they're not doing less, that they're currently doing less. They're expected and they're pressurized to do more, so the bar is too high for them. By dropping the bar doesn't get them the results. Dropping the bar just makes them feel good about themselves.
I agree with the methodology of how to get results.
Okay.
Right? You have to train. I always say to my clients, it's not about how many reps, it's about proximity to failure. So either just before failure, or beyond. Like pick which, if you can go beyond failure, i.e. you've got a trainer, drop sets, whatever, brilliant, we want that.
Yeah, but you also know like failure to the average person doesn't mean much.
Yeah.
I would just say like do a bench press until you don't feel like you can do any more reps.
Yeah.
That's what failure is.
Right. Matt, most people, not you, they go to work, right? Yeah. They have other responsibilities. I'm not saying you don't go to work. They have other responsibilities.
Okay.
The gym, for them, is in replacement for what could be time that could be used for something else they actually want to do.
Okay.
You and I want to go to the gym, right? When I'm at home reading comic books, I'm not going, oh, fuck, like I've got so much comics to read. I enjoy it, right? So I'm reading them. Okay. When you go to the gym, you are enjoying it, so you go gym. 98% of people, I would argue, maybe not as high as that, a large percentage of people, when they go to the gym, they're not doing it, it's not within them to enjoy it. They're thinking, oh, I could be out with the boys having a beer. Yeah. I could be playing computer games. I could be. That's why they're searching for dopamine elsewhere. This is where phones in gyms really should be. If we want real results, we should just ban phones, because people do a set 10 reps away from failure and then get a dopamine hit from Instagram, whereas you will get your dopamine hit from the session itself, right? Like you max out on a machine. Let's say you're doing leg press, right?
Okay.
And
your
you're
first,
like, I'm going to do 30.
Statement about me enjoying going to the gym is wrong.
You don't think you enjoy it?
No.
Okay, you're kind of sick.
I'm not waking up every day saying to myself, "Oh, I can't wait to go to the gym." Okay, I've been training for 20 years. Like it's unrealistic to sustain that. I stopped loving going to the gym like 10 years ago.
Okay.
So I go to the gym because I like getting results, and I know going to the gym gets me results.
Do you not think there's an element of like sunk cost bias? Like you've done it so long now that to then like, that's not me like criticizing your ability to train or your want to train. It's more like you've obviously put so much in, way more than you've probably put in more than like someone would do in like 5 lifetimes in terms of like hours spent in the gym, amount of sets to failure, all the rest, and you've still got another 20 years of training left, right?
Yeah.
So do you not think that there gets a point where you go, I'm in now too deep to not do it anymore? Because if you gave it up now, right, wouldn't you feel like you lost like a large part of your identity?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. I would like going to the gym like now. Let's say I've won my pro card, contemplating retirement.
I wonder how long it would take you to.
Yes. Like, there's no real incentive for me to go to the gym because I'm not really pushing to get any bigger. Like, my motivation to go to the gym now is to hold on to the muscle that I have and trying to like keep it for a while until I decide what I want to do. Like before this point, it was go to the gym to get results. It wasn't, I love going to the gym.
But then, so what's happened with you is it's like a co-evolution, right?
Yeah.
You were like motivated to get muscle, then you got muscle, and then you became motivated to keep muscle.
Yeah.
Most people don't get, they don't even get 2 pounds of muscle, bro. Like
because they're not going to the gym.
Yeah, I'm not saying like
cause and effect.
I'm not saying people should sign up and the first thing we should do is go cancel. I'm not saying that, right? I'm saying that part of the issue is this like lone wolf mentality, like I'm going to go to the gym full of motivation, get my plan, and like savage these sessions.
But that's not reality. Yeah, but that's not reality though. Like I don't expect everyone to be thinking like that.
They're not. But
the amount of people that love going to the gym is very few.
Yeah, and this is my point. I think that what we need to do as an industry is get better at not just lowering the bar for the sake, not go, oh, don't build 50 pounds, build 20 pounds. Not this.
Okay. It sounds like you want us to lower the bar.
No, I think it's very them and us, mate. I think it's very much like you've got the people that train and that love. Like some of the stuff I see go out online is so cringy, it's unbelievable. And like, and then the thing is, it's like a group.
I'm still struggling to understand what it is that you want us to do. What is it you want us to do?
Right.
If it's not lowering the bar, what is it?
Is make the integration into training easier.
Okay.
Right. So like when you put, not you, but when I see someone put out content and it's like, you know, the key to results is like it's either motivation or discipline, right? Okay. It's like, oh, the key to results is being disciplined. You know, you'll see me in here even when I don't want to be.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. Like it's very like you're not with the cool kids, right? And I think that part of the issue is that, like, let's say literally you're trying to emulate the extremes that you've seen because you know it works, right? You're looking at the Kai Greens, the Jay Cutlers, this and that, and going, right, I need to get as close to that as possible because that is what it takes to achieve results, right?
Okay, but what you also need to consider with your grand plan of making things a little bit more palatable for everyone is that I didn't go to the gym and then the next day evolve into the person that I am today. Like you, I went to the gym. Maybe I was influenced by the extremes of the Kai Greens and the Phil Heath of my day. But let's say that's the relative effectiveness to what people have today with the like Wolverines, the example they used before. Like I'm still that person. I was still the average Joe then, who went to the gym wanting to get bigger, who was like 78 kilos. No.
Yeah, but 78 kilos, your height is okay, quite a big boy.
I was small, but my goal is the extreme.
Right.
Don't forget that.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
We're talking about like 60 kilos of muscle
Yeah.
over that period of time.
Yeah.
Like, that is a daunting goal.
It is.
I still went to the gym not knowing what to do, still went to the gym not knowing how to push myself to failure. Mm-hmm. But by consistently going to the gym, by consistently doing the things that it takes for me to put on the muscle that I need, it got me there. Now, what's to stop the average person? I was still working a full-time job. I was still working 10-hour days. I was prioritizing my muscle building outside of that because I wanted to get to a particular goal. How is that any different to the average person coming to the gym now, wanting to lose a bit of weight or wanting to put on a bit of muscle? Mm-hmm. Outside of bodybuilding.
Yeah. I think that here, probably going to offend you a bit.
Yeah, go on.
This is where the two loudest voices, let's talk about like money to put a comparison. The two loudest voices talking about money are rich kids and anomalies.
Yeah.
Right? You've got the rich kids talking about how, oh yeah,
I know where you're going.
My dad might have given me 200 grand to start up,
yeah,
but I took the risk, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got the anomaly who was like, they took a stupid risk that should have never have worked.
And it paid off.
And it paid off. And we've got such a survivorship bias. We're not looking at the normal person who would benefit from just like, probably not listening to either of these two. It's probably not necessarily bad advice, but it's probably not applicable advice.
Yeah.
So when you say to me, I started, and what did you say, 78 kilos?
Okay, let's not look at where I started and you looking at that and be like, that's already a really good physique. Let's look at what my goal was.
Yeah, but but a millionaire trying to become a billionaire.
No. The average Joe coming to the gym wanting to put on 10 kilos or wanting to gain 20 kilos or wants to lose 50 kilos of body fat. Okay, that's still a big goal.
It is a big goal.
Okay, that still takes a lot of work to get there. Same as how it took me a lot of work to get to where I am. Okay, what's the difference? Ignore the starting point.
Okay, we're ignoring the starting
Ignore the starting point.
But we can't, but...
Okay, ignore the starting point. from your perspective to say like, oh, it's 78 kilos, we're still really good about really good physique. My goal was extreme bodybuilding, not to look good.
How old when you started?
20?
20.
21.
Right. So, what was your job at the time?
I think I was working at Phones for You. Sales.
Doing sales, right?
So 19, I think I started actually.
Okay. So, what we're doing there is going, just look at the starting point as in like two pieces of meat walking into the gym.
No, starting point as in like we both have both have big goals. Goals are far away from where we currently are.
Then I would say, circumstance is huge. It's like you can't just none of
circumstance. So what's the circumstance? How is that different?
If you're 19 years old, if you've got a full-time job, I would imagine you've probably got a bit of money in your pocket.
Okay, let's just take like for like to make it easier for you. Okay, so you don't. So I'm giving you less things to grasp onto here. Okay,
grasp onto.
Because you're going to be like, the average Joe has wife and 2 kids and has a job and insurances to pay. Okay, let's ignore that.
The world is not The Sims. Okay, you don't build a character and you just allocate points.
Okay,
there is situations.
Okay, take a 19-year-old today.
Okay,
and a 19-year-old, 19-year-old me then. Okay, 19-year-old today. He's 150 kilos. He wants to lose 50 kilos of body fat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good on him.
Relatively untrained.
Yeah.
Me, relatively untrained.
Yeah.
Okay. Why should we make it easier for that person?
Because it's really tempting because we're like, it's really tempting. Why
should we make it easier for him?
It's not about making it easier. It's about helping them come up.
I didn't get any help.
Oh. Right. It's like when you meet someone.
I had zero help.
Look,
still made it to the gym every day.
You've definitely had this before when you've met a client, right?
Yeah.
And you've got one client, they'll be the same age, right? And let's not start building them, but you'll have like a client who is like an ex-dancer for 10 years and like, their parents, like, they used to eat protein with every meal. All the stuff, like all the foundation of the things that would make someone that's going to be good at our world.
Yeah.
Right.
Good.
And then you'll have like on the other side, someone who's like, what's protein? Is chicken a carb? And like has never done a single bit of activity in their life.
I didn't have any of that, by the way. Okay, if that was your neither of those applied to me. I'm going off simple Caribbean home cooking here.
Which is high dense protein.
I don't know any different. My dad's a Rastafarian, so I was eating largely vegan meals growing up.
Okay, fair.
So how should we make it easier for that person? Starting points are the same.
You sound like you've got a lot of zest for your success. Everyone should work as hard as me. Look,
how should we make it easier for this guy?
I am not doubting that you had things to overcome. Right?
Yeah.
And I would also argue that to be really good at anything, you need things to overcome. You need adversity.
Yes.
Right? You can't just have everything handed.
Such as work.
Yeah.
To get to the goal that you need to get to.
Yes. But your case, your unique circumstance, right? Let's say.
That unique?
Well, by the time you're 30, you're a completely unique person, right? Like, I'm saying that your life, right?
Yeah.
It's very difficult to measure all the quantifiable factors that make you the way you are versus someone else that's your age, who even if they grew up in a similar place, like no one's the same like that, right?
Okay.
So I'm saying that
I know that.
So what we're doing is we're going this is not your training method or anyone out here. This is the industry does the same thing. It goes, this is the way. It's train 3-4 times a week. Whatever your proximity to failure, this sort of rep range, and do that for like 2 years straight, and you probably won't see results for at least a year. That's like the way, right? And we go, why can't you do that? Which is, I'm not saying that I don't do this as a trainer.
Yeah.
I'm saying if we, you've obviously hired PTs in the past and all sorts, right? Every trainer's like, oh yeah, like I really want to just help people, And they don't want to help people. They want people to follow the exact system that they want to do, right? And this is why.
Because they know it gets results.
Maybe, but for them. Yeah. And I did a video talking about this. Like,
but
us trainers, right? We only want, and I am including all of us, right?
Yeah.
We only want to train people in the way that we want to train them. And what I mean by that is, if we know that this person needs to lose 50 kilos of weight, right?
Yeah.
They should have a weight training protocol, yeah?
Yeah.
But more important is obviously calorie intake, calorie burn, right?
Yeah.
It's extremely rare that you'd see a PT go, you know what? What's actually important is that you hit your steps, right? I'm going to ring you and you're going to get on your walk pad at home. And while I'm doing my admin, I'm going to watch you. I've like, in my entire time doing this, and it's like, whatever, 13 years now, I've never actually heard a PT that would be willing to do that, because it's not what they want to do. We want everyone to achieve their goals in the way we want to do it.
I don't think I've ever done that.
Of course you haven't done it. That's the point I'm making.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, you're just describing bad PTs though.
It's not bad PTs. That's what this person needs.
Yeah, but you just described.
But instead we go, you need to get into weight training, bodybuilding. Look at this video of Kai Green. Like, that's not a protocol.
No one's saying that either. Like, what do you propose then? Like, let's okay. Like, essentially, this is about getting people results.
Yeah.
Okay. You're saying the industry standard and the industry message is too extreme and too one-sided.
I'm saying it's led by something unrealistic.
Led by something unrealistic.
Yeah.
Okay. At the end of the day, this person still needs to get results.
That's true.
Okay.
Also.
So, what do you propose?
I propose that
let's say the key principles, which are attend the gym regularly.
Yeah.
Be conscious of what you eat outside. Follow some kind of meal plan.
This is
already okay. Cool. What do you propose? Okay, I'm not going to try and influence you or tell you my bias.
Yeah.
What do you propose for them to get to where they need to be?
Education.
Okay, and what does that look like?
So if you look at, I would say education with accountability is step one, right?
Yeah.
So
what does the education part look like?
Like for someone to actually understand, because look, you know as well as I do that right now, especially with things like Ozempic hitting the market, the conversation around calories in, calories out is like crazy. Like we're still debating like a fundamental of physics here. Like we all know it's calories in, calories out, right?
Yeah.
But it's really engaging to create content that sort of says no, it's not, because the thermo effect of food changes if you eat this and that's still calories in, calories out.
Okay.
It's just more calories out, right?
Okay.
So we, as an industry, like let's say the wider fitness industry, can't even be bothered to just come to an industry standard on how calories work.
Okay.
Right?
What does the education look like?
We need to tell people that instead of looking for the minutiae in but if I eat protein at this time, the thermogenic effect,
I'm not even looking at that though. I'm just literally looking at like eating healthy.
Yeah, how they can eat healthy.
Eating healthy, how you can eat healthy, attended the key factors that I was going to mention before. Go to the gym regularly.
Yeah.
Okay. Consistently.
Yeah.
Be active outside of the gym. Eat healthy. Okay. And when you get to the gym, try hard. Okay. I'm not even going to say intensity. Just try hard. Let's just say those things.
Yeah.
Would you disagree that that's what it takes?
I don't disagree.
Okay.
I'm in 100%
But how do we get that across to people in a palatable way so they get results?
I think that's a good question. I think that the training part, like if you look at it like this, right?
Bearing in mind, these are the people who find excuses to get to the gym anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Okay? Who, when they get to the gym, are sitting on their phones 90% of the time. Who, when they get home, are eating a tub of ice cream or go to the pub. Okay? This is what we're working with.
I just feel like you have a very in Matt's brain, you're either like.
This is what we have, but this is what we have to work with.
Yes.
So how do we get these people who have these behaviors ingrained into them, okay, and not a predisposed want to go to the gym? They don't want to be there. They don't want to eat healthy, but they want to lose 50 kilos of body fat and they want to gain 10 kilos of muscle. Okay, how do we get them there?
At least you've lowered your standards. This is good. We're making progress.
How do we get them there? Okay. Yeah. Without using any of the hardcore tools that you've mentioned in the industry?
So obviously we need to try and find a way that they can enjoy it, because most people do ththings that they enjoy outside of work.
So how do we find
we're capable
to enjoy it?
Like your ability. So right, I'll give you a good example. I was taught recently that I didn't even know about nutrition. Right.
Okay.
Obviously, dopamine's a big driver for behavior. Some people will get like a dopamine hit from like the feeling of their stomach being full.
Yeah.
And some people will feel sick. Right? This is obviously an individual like response to eating, right? So as someone who doesn't have that, like I don't eat a lot like food feel full and go, oh wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Right? It's obviously automatically disingenuous for me to expect someone to act like me.
Yeah.
So I think that people understanding these principles first. I think there's a phase of like I know just based on your age that you would have had to have done something similar to me, which is when you started like learning about training, you were probably on like T Nation and like forums reading about it and learning about training, right? You were probably doing
YouTube
the long
mainly.
form or YouTube, the long format. In today's standard, pretty boring.
Yeah.
Where there's a lot of information, you sit and you go, interesting, right? We had that education side so that when new things came out, we could be critical about it. So, for example, if you read about training to failure, you would have read an article from some bodybuilder, doesn't matter who, talking about, I think actually Jay Cutler used to talk about this. Like it was like, I'll work in a rep range of 8 to 12 whenever I feel like I can't do the next one. Yeah. So you're like, right, cool. 8's not important, 12's not important, 15's not important. It's the proximity to failure which is important. Like, you know that. You've got that knowledge, effort. You've got that knowledge, you take that through with a critical eye forever, right?
Yeah.
Now, people are being bombarded with do this movement, do that movement, eat this food, eat that food. And it's very confusing. But you and I benefit from the fact that we have a foundational understanding based on long format content.
So are you
I think the actual answer to your question is that us, as let's call us creators, whatever you want to call us, we need to push long format, more educational, not do your bicep curls like this.
Don't you think people are doing that anyway?
No. The biggest
I see tons of that.
The biggest YouTube, the biggest channels are flooded with like either shorts or like the long format is just shorts over and over and over. Like if I was to be critical of my peers, the ones that I see here, the majority of their content is snappy, attention grabbing, I'm looking for views content.
Yeah.
Back in the day, Jay Cutler, John Meadows, these people weren't worried about this. They weren't going, oh, I'm doing this because I need to hit 100,000 likes. They were like, I generally have a love for this thing. This is how I got results. I want to share it in its totality. But everyone's trying to hold back so they can they can monetize the answer.
Yeah.
Look at Joe Wicks. Even if you go to the other end of the spectrum, bish bash bosh, recipe, bam, no context, eat that, buy my book. Like it's always everyone wants that like they're doing this like really prophetic, amazing work. Like, oh, I'm trying to make people think, bro, you're trying to monetize every aspect of what we do.
I think we need to be clear about who we're talking about here or who should be influenced. Like, I very much doubt the average person who goes to gym group, who works in human resources or finance or whatever, has the time to that much influenced by what they see on Instagram. Like, bearing in mind these people, let's say we can use tons of examples of people who are not even on Instagram, who are not bombarded by this information, who are still going to the gym and getting nowhere.
That's true. But that's what I mean. Like this is our job needs to be in the digital age, right? This is what I was alluding to earlier. I feel like bodybuilders, strength athletes, whatever you want to call us like collectively, there's an element of gatekeeping that happens because it's in our interest financially, right? Now, obviously, you have to pay your bills, I have to pay my bills, but there's a big element of, like, you worked in, was it LA Fitness before?
Yeah, right. Fitness first.
You know some of the PTs, it was like a person will come up with a genuine question, it's like, the board's up there, mate. I'm 50, 60 quid an hour. It's like the level of gatekeeping is so extreme for something that we apparently love. Right?
Yeah.
Now, I find that really funny because if someone comes to me and talks about comic books, do you think I go, mate, there's my card, call me later, 50 quid an hour, I'll consult you, right? Because we're able to monetize it, we act poorly. And then what happens is the people that are extremely good at monetizing it have the biggest voice. And those people are chatting rubbish most of the time, right? Because you have probably covered every concept of training that matters for 99% of people. Consistency, intensity, calories in, calories out, right? Pretty much that's the majority of people are going to get their results.
So what you're saying, we should simplify the message and what? Dumb it down?
Why is everything backwards? No, not dumb it down. I'm saying the answers should be front loaded. and they're not currently front loaded.
I think we just need to if we just put people who go to the gym,
Yeah.
okay, into different categories. Because I really don't think a lot of this information
You know
applies.
what? There should be belts.
I don't think a lot of this information applies to the average Joe who are finding excuses not to go to the gym. Like if we just look at the people that keeps gyms open, okay, these people, let's put them here. Most of them are not on Instagram. The other half are probably on Instagram with private profiles who just follow their friends and family. Post pictures of their weddings. They go out with their kids. They'll throw up a little story every now and then. They're not on Jay Cutler's Jay Cutler's pages. They don't know who Jay Cutler is. Like these people keep gyms open. They'll keep their membership. Sometimes they'll go. They'll not go for like 6 months, then they'll start going again once they get in it. They're not getting any results. These are the people.
Right,
then you got the other
people that are not going to get results.
Good.
What I'm saying is
we're
not helping them.
Yeah, we need to. These people are unhelpable.
Wow. Okay.
Like I'm okay. I'm separating. I'm giving
their money.
I'm giving you different categories in the gym.
Okay.
These people, as I'm sure you can agree, okay, but are very hard to get to. Very hard to get. Very hard to change their behaviors. Like if I was to change my entire coaching business just to purely service these people that I've just mentioned, okay, I would be bold in 6 months because they're not going to follow the plan.
Yeah.
They're not going to do the basics, and the basics would be go to the gym, let's say once or twice a week. They're not going to do that. Okay, eating healthy, forget about it.
At least I've managed to get you down to 5 days a week.
Forget about it. So we can both agree these people are very, very, very hard to influence and are probably so far removed from the information you've just mentioned, okay, that they're completely disillusioned. Okay.
Do you not think there's some power in someone from someone like you or someone that looks like you saying, right, obviously to get to me, this requires. Because what I'm saying is there isn't a different.
Are we talking about this group of people?
Yes, I'm talking about this group.
Okay.
Do you not think there's some power in going, look, obviously it's taken me multiple years, very hard training sessions, multiple times a week, right?
Yeah.
Do you not think there's some power in going, look, twice a week, sustained, with 80% effort, is probably going to get you 50% of the way where you want to get to, right? So it's like if you're giving someone business advice, right? They want to earn 100 grand a year, right? And they're currently in a 9 to 5.
Yeah, there's
right?
there's power in saying it. There's no power in getting them to do it. Like there's no benefit for me.
Okay. So I guess
you and I both know we've trained people like this.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no power. There's power in saying it to make me feel good, and they'll probably shake their heads during the session. Yeah. But as soon as they leave, they forget about it.
It's just so bleak.
But you can't help everyone. You can't help everyone. There's millions of people that go to the gym every single day who are in this group that I'm not even going to bother talking to. Because, there could be some outliers in there that are willing to change, are willing to put in the work that's needed to get their goals. But the majority of them would just, they'll find an excuse not to go to the gym. They'll find an excuse not to come to the training session. And they'll probably cancel their gym membership once they realize they're still paying for it when they haven't gone for a year. Okay? Those are the people that keep gyms open.
Yeah, they
okay?
do.
This is why I was saying we need to just separate people in different categories. That's one category. Another category could be
the level of elitism is just because it's like these people forget about them. Now the people that I'm willing to at least listen to are grinding.
The people who you can influence, okay, are the tier just above that. Okay, these are the people who have the same commitments that these people have. Okay, they just make an effort or prioritize at least coming to the gym. Okay. 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
Okay, these are the people that can be influenced. Okay, they might follow the Chris Bumsteads. They might follow the,
I've got you.
Jeff Nippard.
Yeah.
These are the people that can, in
I would say these
to
are
some degree,
that typically take PT.
That typically take PT. Okay, they'll somewhat stick around. 50% of them might see some results. The other 50% just likes to chat to you and like the routine of seeing you once a week or twice a week or whatever. Okay, then you have, I would call them the bodybuilders. These are the people.
Matt Society.
I'm not even. There's another group above that.
Okay, sorry.
The bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Okay, who want to change their physiques to some degree where the average person in the street would be like, oh, that guy goes to the gym.
Okay, fair.
Okay?
Yeah.
Then above that, you've got the competitive bodybuilders.
Okay.
Who are the people that I talk to?
Okay.
Okay?
So
I think we got distinguished our message.
So we've got, don't talk to them at all. I'll take your money. I have some respect, and I'll take your money. And you're all right.
If you want to put it like that. Yeah, I suppose.
Okay. So my point.
Okay. Are we talking so your argument as to revolutionize the fitness industry, dropping the bar, focus on education.
Yeah.
Okay. It's only going to be applicable to that second tier up. The tier above are not interested. Would you agree?
No. I would say.
Then you've got a lot of time to waste.
I would say the the tier of least interest, right?
Yeah.
For me, is like the casual.
That's your bread and butter?
No. Like this is like me. Now let's flip it and use the geek analogy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got at the top, like the smallest percentile, are the collector readers. These are people that both read and collect a thing. Doesn't need to be comics. Could be.
They're on the forums,
they're
on the YouTube, they're following their favorite comic book stars or whatever.
They consume and they keep.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then the tier underneath would be one of those, like either collectors or consumers.
Yeah.
Right? And then you've got the people that are like kind of into it, they maybe watch the odd
Marvel movies, enthusiasts, that's me. That's where I am.
That's where you are.
Yeah.
And then you've got the tier below that, which are the
who think Superman is Thor? Is Thor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Is that the green one?
Yeah.
Those are the people.
They have an understanding of his existence.
Yeah.
Now, me, as a top tier geek, let's say, I look at that bottom tier, and go, wow, look at all these people that I can share this incredible thing with, right?
Okay.
The difference
is barely have the time to listen to you.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
And B would struggle to understand what you're talking
That's
about.
fine.
Okay, cool.
Right?
Cool.
What I'm saying
So you're telling me it's worth your time going to that group of people, pulling your hair out, trying to explain to them what Thor is and what Superman is.
Yeah. Because
it's worth you spending 2 hours of your day doing that.
Because we can't leave the industry going, I love training, I love helping people, but not these people. Like there has to be
no. There needs to be There needs to be if you think about allocation of time, we have responsibilities.
Yeah.
Okay. We're doing this to earn an income, yes. Okay. And we're also doing it for a sustained income.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at it from simple terms as a PT on the gym floor.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is also applicable to coaches online.
Yeah.
Which person would you rather have as a client?
Right. I would say really good question. I would say your bread and butter, the volume of your money is going to come from these higher tiers of people that are more interested, right? Good. Just like in the geek world, we call them the whales. The whales spend the most money, right? These are the people who
are going to stay longer, who are going to rave about you. These are people who are going to follow, importantly, and follow what you tell them to do.
These are the people who...
To some extent.
Yes. These are the people that, say, in Pokemon, spend hundreds of pounds a month doing one thing over and over again, right?
Yeah.
These are the whales, right?
Yeah.
They fund the majority of what's happening. Now, the whales are always going to spend that money unless they get aggrieved massively, right? But it's rare that happens. And when it does happen, it's a big deal, right? So then what I'm saying is much like...
At least we're agreeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying much like the gaming industry, to make a good game, you should not be aiming at the whales. You aim at the bottom, the least interested, to get them in. Because that also raises everyone up. I'm saying the fitness industry is extremely well geared for me and you. Like, extremely well geared. Like, I can go into even the worst gym I can find, like, maybe not a hotel gym, but any gym with like a brand, and it's going to be decent. Because...
Also, I should also mention that this, the tier system that I've just mentioned, people are going to swap in and out from each level. But even the bottom people are probably going to swap into the second tier, third tier.
The gym industry is extremely immature. It's not old.
Okay.
Right? We act like it's this age-old thing, like we've had gyms for hundreds of years, and they should always just operate as they have.
Yeah. It's been around long enough where people know to get fit, I need to go to the gym. People at least have that knowledge.
Yeah, but it's not adapting, bro.
I think you'll struggle to find someone. I think,
yeah, I know. It's been.
But I think it's the same as always been because it works.
Yeah.
Because it works.
It works for the few.
It also works for the many.
Right.
But I think you would struggle to find someone in the Western world that doesn't know what a gym is or wouldn't associate a gym with health and fitness.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean the product doesn't need to change. It's like if you let Tesco, let's say Marks and
So how would you change the product to appeal to someone who doesn't want to go to the gym?
You actually ask them, bro, instead of telling them how.
Bearing in mind, the first part of this argument doesn't change. Bearing in mind, their goal is still big. Their goal is still to put on 10 kilos of muscle, and their goal is still to lose 50 kilos of body fat. Okay. So how do we achieve that? How do we put on 10 kilos of muscle to get people to do things they don't want to do?
Firstly, I do think the education point is
still valid.
No, I don't think that in like an hour's conversation we're going to be able to solve the problem.
No.
Because no matter how much research gyms do,
I'm interested to see your point of things on how you would target those people. Target the people who don't want to do the things that you're asking.
We need to understand why they don't. I think that
don't think it's important enough. They're not prioritizing.
Maybe they don't.
They're not prioritizing it enough.
But the thing is, our mentality is to go, right, you're happy to spend 60, 70, 80 pounds an hour on a session? Brilliant. Now you can have my attention, right? And it gets very, it's very, like I said, if you aim at the whales, you aim at the people that are spending the most money, you get a very narrow view. You and I are getting, we're not doing it on purpose.
I don't think all those people are whales. The whales are the top end.
No, they're not. The people that spend the most are probably never the most hardcore. It's the second layer.
Yeah.
It's the people that have the most money.
Even the second, but there's like 3 layers here.
But what I'm saying is your mentality and understanding of the entire industry, much like mine is, right, is influenced a disproportionate amount by the people in the top. Because we build gyms, like if you take a bodybuilding gym, right, that is not built for Margaret, who's in HR, right? It's built for bodybuilders, right? Now, what we do, which is really
still
funny,
effective.
Yeah,
for Margaret.
But it's not for her, is it? It's not for her.
She'll still get a lot. There's nothing Margaret can't do.
No, apart from the environment, how unfriendly it is, all these.
You think bodybuilding gyms are unfriendly?
Not to me, but I'm not worried about that, mate.
There's a level of intimidation, but Barbara that works in HR. Okay, that's down to the person. There's people that come here.
Yes.
There's people that come to this gym in particular who are complete newbies to the fitness industry.
True.
Never been to the gym before.
I mean, they get looked
They
at
are.
a bit, but...
Yeah, but if we have trans men and trans women that comes to this gym.
Yeah.
Okay, who might not feel accepted in a gym group or a fitness first.
All fair. Yeah.
There's nothing. It's your intimidation of walking into this gym in particular, MuscleWorks, is down to you as an individual and how you and your life experiences,
and I would
or your pre-bias, your bias to what you think MuscleWorks is like on the inside.
Not to plug.
But then you would have also another person who never been to a gym before. They'll feel perfectly fine coming to this gym because they think, oh, it's a gym. It has equipment.
Yeah.
The same as any gym. This one is around the corner from where I live. I'm gonna go there.
Yeah, and not to plug MuscleWorks who are sitting in it, but it is a good gym, right?
Yeah.
And it's well equipped, and it's got all the things you're talking about are true. The people are nice and inviting and friendly and all these things, right? But the reality is, we can't now pretend because that's the case that it's built for Margaret. It's not built for Margaret. It's like that classic, like you're allowed to come, but you're not invited. It's not the same thing. The person can come here, but it's not for them. And I think that a large part of that is...
What makes it not for Margaret? I'm struggling to understand why.
Have you...
Margaret thinking MuscleWorks is intimidating is Margaret's problem.
Do you not think that there's anything that we do to contribute
Margaret
to
can
that?
also work with someone else in the same position that will feel perfectly fine
But do you not think that filming videos with the logo... Again, this is not my personal opinion on MuscleWorks, but going, what people lack is discipline. Do you not... that is intimidating because they're not disciplined, they're not motivated.
I see the same kind of content coming out of Pure Gym.
It's all wrong. That's my point.
But what I'm saying is, gyms in general to someone like Margaret is intimidating, not MuscleWorks.
Yes, I know. This is why we as a collective need to change.
Okay, so don't just say bodybuilding gyms.
No. I'm starting with
bodybuilding-
bodybuilding gyms.
A
Because what
bodybuilding gym
Yeah.
has the same equipment, same layout
Yeah.
as a fucking
Yeah,
as a
exactly.
pure gym.
Remember what we said earlier about we can't say that Chris Bumstead his what he does affects everything. It's the same with at the top of the chain of the bodybuilding gyms, the powerlifting gyms, the strongman gyms, the
To
high
us, not to
no,
everyone.
but I'm saying that all the other gyms are
Yeah.
modelled on these. If you take a CrossFit box, right? CrossFit box with barbells, chalk everywhere.
Yeah.
And obviously now we have like Hyrox is like a more accessible version of that, right? Mainly, it just doesn't have like the Olympic lifting components and this sort of stuff. The barrier of entry is a bit kinder, right?
Okay.
It's still full of people with like rippling six packs, oiled up, like pulling ropes and shit like that. If you look at the gyms that are affiliated with Hyrox, you're correct. They still look like gyms, like they still look the same, right? What I'm saying is, as an industry, the adaptation has been, because the first gyms are bodybuilding gyms, right? We can sort of agree that they were either like dojo type things or they were full of machines and equipment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The most popular.
Yeah. All the
Popularized gyms, yeah.
All the gyms still
bodybuilding
look
gyms.
like that
Yeah.
to some extent,
To some extent.
right? They're all modelled off of that.
Yeah.
I'm saying the product we need to, like the products need to shift the other way around. Gaming has done this, right?
Okay.
Remember before like the year 2006.
I'm interested to know what you think the
Right.
new model should look like.
What's the most popular gaming consoles of all time? Do you know them?
No idea.
Right. So the biggest selling, I understand. It doesn't matter what exact order, but I understand the biggest selling ever is the PlayStation 2, right? Which was still fundamentally a hardcore gaming thing, right? High-end graphics, controller, like learning the D-pad, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then what came later were other more hardcore versions that model off the same thing. Then what did Nintendo do in 2005? They brought out the Wii.
Yeah.
The Wii was completely revolutionary, not like any of these other gaming consoles, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And was the next big thing, was the first thing to really shake, well, obviously PlayStation and Xbox, but
But where's the Wii today?
well, the Switch is going to be the biggest selling now, and that's modelled off of the Wii.
Is it?
Yeah. So this is the point. Like,
Can you play the tennis? Can you play tennis on Switch?
Yeah, they've got the Joy-Cons, bro. Like, read a book. Come on. So what they've done is gone. You're allowed to have hardcore, super high spec PCs.
Yeah.
We can still have that. Someone else has come along and gone. You know what? Let's build something with grandma in mind.
Yeah, yeah.
And funny enough, it's become the most popular thing.
Okay.
Right. So I'm
How
saying
do we do that to gyms?
this is my point. I'm not saying make games shit or don't spend time with your kids playing games.
Should we start shipping barbells to people's houses?
Here we go. Right? You see, like
How should we do this? Muscle
No,
should have like
I'm
a side
saying-
business where they
I'm
start
saying-
outsourcing equipment to
I'm
people's homes
saying
who don't
we
want to go to the
need
gym.
to ask instead of telling.
Okay.
Right?
So
We
ask, do
can't-
you want to go to the gym? No, you don't? Okay.
They probably
what's the
don't wanna
Yeah,
go
so what's the
gym.
alternative?
I don't know yet. I'm saying
Oh,
we
you
need
don't
to
know?
start the conversation. I'm saying that because I haven't got the date. I don't know why Margaret doesn't want to come.
Okay.
I don't know if she's.
So go to Margaret. Do you want to go to the gym, Margaret?
Look, let's
no,
be
it's
honest.
too scary.
Right.
Can't be asked. I've got so many things to do.
if-
I've got 4 grandkids. I've got fucking bingo down the road.
Put it with
Gladys.
bingo. I don't know.
Like, I can't do it. Can't be asked.
okay.
Eating can't be asked.
But
How do we appease to
because
Margaret?
what
Let's
look,
try and grovel a little bit and
because I'm
ship some
saying-
equipment to Margaret's front room.
What I'm saying is currently the way that our industry is set up isn't working in the way we are describing it.
It's thriving though.
It's doing all right,
It's doing pretty well.
but it could do a lot better if we could get.
Can't help
Margaret.
everyone. That's my stance. I'm
It just-
sorry.
I feel like
You can't help everyone.
You know X-Men, yeah. I feel like I'm talking.
Give
to
me one endeavor in life, or
apocalypse.
one hobby, or one thing that you can mention that has 100% success rate.
No, obviously it's not going to have 100%.
There you go. Then you can't appeal to everyone. Like, so what if you make it? So what if you make it elitist?
Supermarkets have done pretty well.
They've done pretty well, but people prefer
but
to
I
go,
mean, as an
some people
industry-
prefer to go to like stores,
markets, yeah,
farmers markets. Some people prefer to grow their own stuff.
Yeah, but that's my point. We're not willing to be those people. In the fitness industry, the bodybuilders, the strength trainers, we're not willing to be the weird ones or the smallest.
No.
We want to be,
Because you appeal to the masses. You talk to the people who are actually coming to the thing that you're talking about. Don't try and appease the people who are not interested. Or who you have to get a carrot to try and get them to go to the gym.
Fitness is for everyone is not something you would...
Who says fitness for everyone? Fitness is for everyone in the sense that everyone should do it. Fitness for everyone is accurate in the sense that everyone should partake in some level of fitness.
But as long as it's in
if the person doesn't want to do it, or the person doesn't want to I would say, okay, use one thing for a better word, conform to what's already out there, then they'll leave them at the wayside. I'm sorry.
My standpoint...
It's not for everyone.
My standpoint, to be clear, is that I do not disagree with what you believe is for results is very in line with what I believe, right? Okay. And how much results you'll get is how strictly you can adhere to those things.
Exactly.
Right.
The more you do something, the better you'll become at it.
I'm saying that day one of this is too high. I'm not saying lower the bar.
I don't think it is.
I'm saying
this is where we disagree.
I'm saying let's look at what I think the gaming industry or the games industry is a brilliant reflection of...
not completely accurate one, but it's good enough to make some points.
Everyone knows what a PlayStation is, yeah? And everyone knows what a gym is, yeah?
Yeah,
cool.
Exactly.
Right, so we can agree there.
Yeah.
Now, we can agree also, it's factual that up until Nintendo superseded them, that the PlayStation was the #1 best-selling, and we can obviously see that the PlayStation was modelled off of high-end gaming PCs, right? That's the hardcore gym. Then it's been commercialised a little bit and spread, and everyone's like, yeah, I'm a real gamer. I belong to this ecosystem. Yeah. I play PlayStation. You play Xbox. We all have our little tribes. You know, you go to Musclework. Someone goes to a CrossFit box. Right? What I'm saying is, they are obviously making a lot of money from people playing games and doing their microtransactions and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But even though the industry looks similar, in the last 20 years, it's changed a lot. It's introduced new consoles that are aimed at other demographics. They took a risk and it paid off, right?
Yeah.
They've introduced freemium games. Pokemon Go is one where you can play for free, so children can play it.
Amazing.
So, do you think a gym or a trainer would never do it, but there will never be a freemium thing within our industry, which is very sad, apart from maybe the gyms that are in parks?
There is a freemium thing.
What freemium gym is there?
No gym. If you say fitness is for all,
so walking the dog outside.
Go outside and walk the dog.
So this is my point.
Fitness is for everyone in the sense that everyone should do it.
Yeah, but
I'm not one to say that you have to go to a gym to achieve some level of fitness.
Yeah,
you can go outside, go for a walk. But what I'm saying is, people are not even doing that.
I know.
You're trying to appeal to people who would find an excuse to go and walk 30 minutes up the road. I'm saying, if these people don't want to do the bare minimum, forget about them.
Leave them behind.
Leave them behind.
Well, I would say
there will be casualties in anything that exists in this world.
But I think
there needs to be casualties. If someone doesn't want to put in the work, they'll get left behind.
Correct.
Okay.
I agree.
And make this industry, this community, or what you want to call it, full of the people who are actually who are showing up for one.
That's where I don't agree. I think if you want to make something incredible,
something incredible doesn't mean everyone needs to get involved.
No, I don't think everyone will get involved. But if you want to I think there's a difference between making something again, let's use comic books. Comic books was and still is a relatively niche thing. Yeah. You have a concept of what comic books are.
I have a concept of what comic books are. But I have zero interest in going to a comic book store, comic book fair, learning about the different types of comic books. I want to just watch the next Marvel movie that comes out and just enjoy the base level heroics and storyline.
But that's where I'd say the movies, as a hardcore fan, I can enjoy it, but so can you as a super casual. The movies have not always existed. the industry, the characters, the intellectual property,
Yeah.
all these things have existed for Superman's like over 80 years old now, right?
Yeah.
So it's,
But then you still have
as
people out
time's
there
gone
who've
on-
got no interest in the movies.
Yeah, and that's fine. But to make it truly amazing, they have appealed to the casual market.
Again, but not appeal to everyone.
No, but not everyone. But I'm
Exactly.
saying we're not doing a good job at even appealing to the casual market. Making the gym cheap.
The casual market are the people that keep the gyms open.
Yes, but they're
The
not
casual
getting
market
what they
are
want. That's like
the
saying,
casual market are people who are paying the subscription every month, okay, and just not using them.
but it's not serving them, and we're not trying to make it better. That's my point. And I'm saying that problem is led.
It's still a choice.
Yes.
The same as it's a choice whether someone shows any interest in any superhero movie at all. It's a choice. They're paying their subscriptions, they're choosing not to go. So be it.
Okay.
It's that person's choice. If that person doesn't obviously want to prioritize going to the gym to achieve the goal that they want to, as to why they joined the gym in the first place.
There are just so many other parallels that are similar to what we do.
There are other parallels,
have the
and I
same mentality.
get the argument of the comic books, get the arguments of the
games.
the game consoles, but it doesn't apply to when it comes to someone's actual choice of doing something or someone putting something to a level of importance where they would actually follow through.
But do you feel like
You're still dealing with human beings at the end of the day.
the people in this big tier at the bottom, right,
Yeah.
who don't go to the gym, who don't regularly train, do you not think there's an aspect of them thinking, I'm not invited. It's
No.
not for me. You think they feel invited?
They feel invited enough to go to the gym and join.
Yeah, but once they get there, maybe they think, oh, this is not for me, you know?
Then why do they keep the memberships going though?
Because they believe it's the
So
only
they're willing
way.
to pay for something that they don't think they belong to?
I think that, yeah.
I don't think.
And this is
would you pay for something that you know you're not?
I mean, we all
you're
pay
not
for
a
something
part
we
of?
don't use, man. Come on.
I don't.
Right, I just don't want to use you as an example of anything, you know. Nope, I do not do
I
that.
would struggle. I would
always
struggle
try
to find someone who pays for something they don't want.
People have got
to pay
subscriptions
for
to things
something
they
that
don't use, man.
they don't use. Everything I pay a subscription to, I use. That's why I pay a subscription to something.
It's like there's literally nothing. Look, I think we could be here all day. I think that
Cameraman, what do you think?
to review, yeah. I understand the science.
I'm basically right and you're wrong.
Wow. Being someone that has spent time reading and experimenting and doing myself and seeing other people, understand the science behind training, right? And I know that you obviously don't need a gym to achieve that. It's just made much easier.
Yeah.
Right? I think that the problem that we have in the industry, the fitness, I don't like saying health and fitness because I don't think they're the same thing, but let's say the fitness industry for now. The problem we have is that because this is the answer, and we can all somewhat agree on it, we're unwilling to move because we're like, to the general public, because we're like, this is the answer, either do it or don't. Right? And I understand from making money, this is the correct way of doing things. Right? There's no point.
But not just about making money. Like we say, this is the answer because we know that it works, and we know some adhering to some level of what's required would get you a certain amount of goals.
Yeah.
Like there's no escaping the fact that you need to be active, fit consistently. You need to eat to a certain level, whether it's more or less, to get to where you want to go.
But this is
like those are unmovable rules.
Yes, correct.
Like so. Let's say we put more things on top of that, which is like micromanaging sleep and recovery and digestion, and get more extreme with things. Like the base minimum is those three things.
Yeah.
Okay. So if people are not doing that, I don't think there's any way you should waste your time trying to get them to do it.
But what about one at a time? Like what about...
There will be outliers in that group who don't want to go to the gym, who would one day, you know, maybe their partner would leave them, or maybe they would wake up one day, look at themselves in the mirror and just have like a switch in the light bulb and be like, right, I'm going to go all in. There are people that are going to flop in and out of that group.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, unless someone's willing to do the like bare minimum of some degree of work, they're not going to get the results. And if they're not willing to even come to the gym to even look at what the works that are required is, then why waste your time?
Because
at the end of the day, it's that person's choice to even want to even step foot in the door.
Because if we lead, we are supposed to lead with this is something I'm passionate about and I want to share with the world.
Yeah, good. You're sharing it with the world by telling them what is required. I love fitness. This is what you need to do to achieve some level of fitness. And you've mentioned those three things. Someone else goes, nah, I can't be asked to do that. Why am I going to waste my time going to that person to say, come on, man, this is why you should really do it. Let me try and dumb it down for you. Maybe forget you a wee and so you can sit on your sofa and wave your hand around. Maybe you can do that.
Because
I'll call you every day to make sure that you go for your daily walk. Like, what am I wasting my time to do that for?
Because by dumbing it down, we will make it better. More people.
Dumbing it down doesn't make it better because essentially there's still work that's required. What I'm saying is they're not willing to do the work.
No, because what we're doing.
Dumbing it down doesn't remove the work.
What I'm trying to. This happens in the geek.
Why do you think steps is such a popular thing at the moment?
Yeah,
because getting someone to go and do cardio every single day, to the majority of some people, is like so daunting that they can't do it.
Yeah.
So you say, okay, go out for steps, go do your 10K a day, do your 15K a day, because that's more palatable for them.
Yes.
But that's still work.
Yeah, but this is
it's still activity.
This is progress.
I know, but what I'm saying is activity or work that's required in the simplest of forms, meaning that you need to eat more to get to a certain place or eat less to get to a certain place. Okay, so if someone's not willing to do either of those consistently, they're not going to get anywhere.
But we could do it one step at a time. It doesn't
call them every day and make sure they're doing it?
Maybe not you, but I'm saying that currently as it stands, right, we have an extremely elitist industry. We can say,
I don't think we can make it any more. We can't. I don't think we can lower the barrier of entry any lower than we already do.
We could.
I don't think so.
Because
it's
I can tell you.
Bottom.
I'll tell you why I believe this.
We've made gym memberships cheap.
We
have budget gyms. No, it is because that's a lot of people's. That's a lot of people's excuses.
That's a fake excuse.
That's a lot of people's excuses.
That's a fake excuse.
Oh, I can't do it because I can't afford it. I've got 2 kids. Then budget gyms open up. Thriving, by the way. You work for one of them. Okay, £15 a month, £10 a month membership. They're still not doing it. The barrier of entry is so low. We have shit PTs now. We have people who out there who would take your money and go for a run with you outside the gym every morning. Okay, if you pay an extra £5 a month or whatever their rate is, they'll take you outside and go for a run around London, around the docks, the riverside, give you some good views. Okay,
I love that
But there are people not even willing to do that. There's there's PTs out there who would have walking clubs, go and collect the clients in the morning and go for a long walk and go back to the gym. People are not doing that.
But this stuff is brilliant.
These are. But what I'm saying is the barrier of entry. These are the barrier of entry. The barrier of entry now is so low that it's very, very low.
Okay.
And people are still out there crying about, oh, I can't get anywhere this year with my fitness goals.
Have
you gone to the gym? Not really.
There are people, obviously, that make excuses that are hiding other excuses.
Are you trying to get like a 100% success rate?
No.
Are you trying to have such a low barrier that the person with the most zero motivation, any interest in eating healthy can get involved and get somewhere? Is that what you're trying to do?
No, I just think, I'd love that, but I think your mentality is like this. It's like saying...
My mentality is either you do or you don't.
Let's only feed the hunters. Like, you need to feel... Let's not worry about the downtrodden or people that have other problems. Let's just feed the hunters.
Let's feed the people who are willing to do the work, yes.
I'm talking about literal food here. Like, leave the starving ones. Just feed the people at the top.
Are they doing some level of work? Are they out picking berries? Are they out making the cave nice and tidy? What are they doing?
Have you watched?
I'm talking about people who are willing to do the work. If you're willing to do some level of work, yes, you should be fed. But if you're literally just starfishing every day, all day, that person's not getting fed. He's doing nothing.
You sound like, this is like how...
Am I wrong? I feel like I'm the crazy person in the room.
No, you're not crazy. This is how the billionaires talk of it. It's like, right, where's your function? If you're not fueling my endeavors, you're like, go for the long walk. Right? Obviously, there are always going to be people that are scrounging, people that are taking advantage.
Casualties.
Right. But there is a lot of people within that aren't those things that I think a combination of better products and education would help. Okay. I'm not saying that we're going to have.
I don't think we can make it any better, though, man. You don't have the answer unless you come to me with an alternative.
I have an idea.
Give me some ideas then.
Right. Okay. I'll give you a
give me an idea of something that we can simplify to such an extent that doesn't exist today.
No, I'll do better than that. I'll do something that exists that we can't be asked to do.
Okay.
Right. We just can't be bothered. Right. Virtual sessions. Right.
Plenty of people do that.
When you say plenty of people,
I do that.
How many do you do?
I do one a week. I've got one long-standing client that I do that for.
Right.
Twice a week,
begrudgingly,
actually.
I bet.
One person. No, I love it.
Oh, you do like it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What I mean is, I'm not saying that no one
But what I'm
does
saying is, people are doing it.
Yeah, but I'm saying the volume is not but what you're right. And I'm going to assume, without you disclosing your prices, although that might be a good plug, I'm going to assume that they're spending quite a lot of money on that.
Yeah. It's an old rate. It's a client I've been training for years.
It's still
She's more a friend now than anything.
It's not a fiver.
No.
It's not free.
No, it's not free. I wouldn't do it for free.
It's not free. Right?
No.
So gyms, if you were a member of a gym, right? For example, I'm giving an example, like potential answer. Why are there not more? Why we have the facilities and ability to do it?
Yeah.
Why aren't gyms offering like at home, like group sessions that people could do with a set of dumbbells at home? For example, like no one's really tried and pushed that. Like you can say, oh, Les Mills do it, but these are like premium products. I'm saying like, why haven't we got things like that on the market that are being really pushed?
Can you think of the logistics of doing it?
Because it's hard, because we don't want to do it. That's my point. We want to train people as we have decided is the correct way.
Okay, are we also doing it for free?
No, it's part of your membership, let's say.
Okay. So you want gyms to have a function that's part of the membership where they log into you once a week, twice a week, and train you.
Like it's so
someone from the gym working for the gym train you for free. Train you for
no, it's like part of the classes.
A rate or something.
Part of the classes.
To one person.
No, like group sessions.
Group sessions.
Yeah.
But there are people that already do that.
Yeah,
gyms should do it.
I'm saying that this is not something that is being really. I'm saying that.
Do you think it's hard to how much do you think a gym membership? Let's say MuscleWorks does it. Gym membership is £40 a month.
Yeah.
Okay, £39. How much would you say a workout DVD would cost? A workout subscription
we know that
or an
work.
app?
We know that doesn't work.
There's tons of fitness apps now.
Oh, we know that doesn't
okay,
work.
So what? Okay, so what? So if that doesn't work, if there's an app out there that can charge that person a fraction of what a gym membership would cost and provide the same service than what you're asking for, and they're not doing it, why do you think the service? If the gym offered that service, why do you think it would work?
Because, firstly, you've got people work better when it's a smaller group, as in like, and the accountability is higher. When someone is known, like is a real person.
Okay.
Right? We know
the person's not known because the person on the other end of the screen doesn't go to the gym.
Over time, they'll be known, though, wouldn't they?
Okay, but there's apps that also do that.
Their tribe. I'm not saying this doesn't exist.
There's an app with a real person on the other end that would log into you every week and give you a one-on-one session. Okay. So you don't have other people on the Zoom that would see you trip over your front.
For example,
your carpet.
I'll give you a better example. I'll give you an example that's more applicable then, right?
Yeah.
You know, when we like Duolingo, right?
Yeah.
So we've got Duolingo, which is the super high, like everyone knows about it.
Yeah.
And it's a super cheap, automated language tool, yeah?
Yeah.
And you've got italki. italki is a way in which you can connect with people in other countries who are native to native to the language you want. So if you want to learn Portuguese, you can speak to someone from Brazil, and they're going to teach. And it's like £2 an hour. It's like because of the exchange rates, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say the fitness industry had something like that, like whereas you could do an online session with another PT who's willing to charge, and it's extremely like well priced because it's in a different country, right?
Okay.
The industry as a whole and PTs would never push that because they believe it would hurt them financially. Even if that person would never step foot in a gym, you're never going to hear a PT go, oh, you can do this, like call this person, it's £2 a session, they're an expert, right? I'm saying that we come from this position where we say, I want to help, but what we really mean is I want to help people that can afford to pay me £70 an hour.
Yeah, right? Because I need to make a living.
Because I need to make a living.
Yeah.
Even when we make a living, I'm pretty sure that the the EBITDA of this gym is probably doing all right. But it's not going to, but as an industry, we don't push these things.
What I'm saying is, there's nothing that you can mention, okay, as a barrier of entry that doesn't already exist.
I don't agree.
You haven't mentioned any so far.
What do you mean?
Everything that you've mentioned so far already exists and people are not using it.
Yeah, but they're not being pushed.
Look, there are companies out there.
But saying they already exist.
There's companies out there with these tools.
Yeah, but saying they already exist.
Whose entire marketing strategy is to push their business.
Saying they already exist is a poor argument for why something's not used, right?
So, but what you're saying is people are not willing to look for them. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying GPS existed before they were in iPhones.
Okay.
Right? When they was integrated in the iPhone, it got used more. Cameras existed before phones.
Yeah.
Before they were in iPhones. When it got integrated in, people started using it.
Okay.
It's about access, advertising. You need to push these things, not just people. There's technology that we have now in phones that no one even cared about prior, or it was super niche to the point.
Yeah.
So FaceTime existed before they put it in an iPhone, but no one cared about it.
I think, but not everything's that transferable, Nathaniel.
Not everything, but we're not even trying.
But you're trying. You're like you have really good examples and parallel products out there. But at the end of the day, we're dealing with real people who needs to do things that are hard. It's not hard me buying an iPhone if I can afford it instead of buying a camera. Mm-hmm. Okay. At the end of the day, in order to get the results, we're in the fitness industry.
It's hard to take good photos though.
Whatever, but at least I can take a photo. I can take a photo of that thing that I see there and put it in my pocket.
Yeah, and I'm saying
that's not hard.
Yeah.
Okay. What's hard is working yourself to a certain extent that your body responds and adapt, where you can get to a certain position where or a physique or a goal that you're happy with. Okay, that requires work. So not everything's transferable. At the end of the day, there are people out there that just doesn't want to do the work. Regardless of whether they know the product exists, that personally fits their requirements for what they're willing to do in terms of work. Let's say it's not immediately available in front of them. Someone's going, take this thing, this is what you need to do, because you don't want to go to the gym. The fact is they don't want to do the work because they know out there that we all know apps exist. We all know, if I know that I don't want to go to the gym, I can't be asked to go to the gym. I don't want to put in the work that's required. I don't want to lift heavy. I don't want to be exerting myself. I know if I go online, search, what do I need to do if I don't want to go to the gym and I don't want to work too hard? There'll be a list of things that would come up for me to go and to do, right? All I need to do is sift through that list, sift through those apps to see whichever is the lowest bar of entry, and I'll go do that thing. But the fact is, people are not doing that. And that requires work. It's the work that you're forgetting about. Yeah. It's all right making it convenient for people, but at the end of the day, it still requires work.
Okay.